Cool. Well, what is today? Today is the 20th?
Yeah.
Yes, it is.
Yes.
September 20th.
Do you remember? It's one day early. It's one day early where we can make that joke.
What?
Do you remember? 21st day of September.
Chicago, right?
I don't know.
I thought it was
Earth, Wind, and
November.
Fire?
It is Earth, Wind, and Fire.
I didn't think it was September. I thought it was November.
I thought it was September. Am I wrong?
I think you're thinking of the 21st of December, which is the beginning of winter. And Do You Remember is definitely a line from my Earth, Wind, and Fire song
I think it
called
is
September.
It is September.
Oh, the song is called September.
Oh, goodness.
Well, there goes that plan.
We are on
right.
a tangent.
So it is the 20th of September, and here we are during the current actual 2020 Oktoberfest.
Yes.
Yes.
Woot woot.
So obviously today we are going to be here drinking Marzens. Marzen being the style of beer that Oktoberfests fall into.
Yes.
And with us tonight, let's go around and start with the guy who's not been for one of these panels before and decided he needs to draw the whole time, so we probably won't hear from him much.
Hi, my name is Josh. I've been drinking for a long time.
Not just today.
I was going to say, are you talking about just today or just in your lifetime?
No. I have a wealth of knowledge when it comes to the beer community. Lots of different tastings, different beer representatives. Worked for a liquor store for almost 3 years and was tasted on a lot of different varietals and what have you. But yeah, I partake in Marzens. Marzens is one of my favorite beers of the holiday season.
Cool. And DeWayne, let's move on to you. Who are you?
Well, as he just said, I'm DeWayne. I exist in this space right now because we're going to be going over some beers and stuff. And yeah, I'm kind of excited because I've not tried most of the ones we have tonight. I really like Marzens, but I looking across the board of what we're doing, it's interesting to see how many are out there, and this is just a small sampling.
Jake?
Yes.
Hi.
Hi, Charlie. Oh, yeah, it's Jake. Yeah, I'm just here for the beer, man, and the pretzels. And,
Yes.
it's fall time, so Marzen time.
DeWayne was good enough to provide us with pretzel. And what was the mustards that you picked up?
So, for the colors are for the people at the table. Description is for those listening. The darker of the two that we have is a honey mustard made with Founders Centennial IPA. And the lighter color is a stone ground mustard made with Dirty Bastard, the Scotch ale from... that is a Scotch ale, right? Mm-hmm. Scotch ale from Founders as well. Which is interesting because later on we're actually going to have a Founders Oktoberfest. So that'll be interesting.
The Scotch ale one is amazing.
I'm trying the honey first because that's the one I was the most skeptical of.
Yeah, I did.
It's a little too watery for me.
Well, D, you want to go next or?
Fuck. I was eating.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
It's pretty good. I like
good?
I like just about everything about the honey mustard. Mister, it's too watery. It's delicious. I also like the hint of the bitter from the IPA. Yeah, I'm just gonna keep eating because it's yeah.
Okay.
I say fuck and I eat. That is how I introduced myself previously, right?
Yeah. All right, and that leaves Andrew.
Yes, hello, Andrew here, and still with Indiana on Tap, but I would just like to take a shout out to the beer blog I have now been writing for about a month, and it's all one word, so much beer, so little time, .food.blog. And that's, once again, so much beer, so little time, .food.blog. And I have already discussed these wonderful beers, Marzen, or Fest beer, which is really the name that came about after about 1810 when Crown Prince Ludwig married the Queen Teresa, and they started having an Oktoberfest, which was basically using the beer. Marzens had been drank from the spring to the fall, but then now all of a sudden once they started having these parties, they called them fests, we got the name Oktoberfest, which was a harvest festival. And most of the breweries in Germany had their own variation. And of course, as Charles already said, this is, I believe, the official one in Munich is going on right now. Is that correct, or will be happening soon?
Yeah, I think didn't that start this weekend?
It did.
Yeah.
And I'm happy to say that we are drinking 3 beers from Germany, and 2 of the beers we selected are of the 6 that are allowed to be served at that festival. And so I'm happy that we are at least drinking official, Oktoberfest beer in our selections tonight.
Okay, starting off our selection of beer today, we have one draft option since we record this here at a bar after the bar is closed, but while it's still safe to serve alcohol due to Indiana laws, we have Bell's Oktoberfest. Bell's being a brewery up in Michigan, and this being their Marzen for the year.
It's pretty solid.
It is solid. The malt content to me is present, but I like the hop finish on it, which would be a very American representation of a Marzen.
Is that almost citrusy on the nose?
I get a little fruity esters from the yeast, for sure. I don't know if it's citrus or like a stone fruit of some kind.
I turned and just got a nose full of smoke, so I can't really tell anymore. Danke.
But there is
Dankeschön.
a sweet, fruity ester from the yeast coming off.
And I think I get that with, like I said, the subtle malt, and then with the bitter finish on it. That, like I said, the hop presence is beautiful on this beer. And there are some breweries that I would definitely expect that from, and Bell's quite possibly would fall under that.
Yeah, I think my favorite thing about this beer is the malt build on it. Like, the hop finish is good and solid, complements it really well, but it's just like, when I think of a Marzen, this is almost exactly what I normally just have in mind. When it's like, oh, Oktoberfest season's coming up. Fantastic.
That's solid. I'd prefer a little more malt on it.
Yeah, it's got a subtle sweetness to it. It's one of those where, especially for people that are trying to expand their beer tastes, this is a super approachable craft option.
Oh, yeah, for sure. I mean, it's not super heavy. It's not overly complex.
But no, this is a super accessible, like, entry-level beer.
No, yeah, for sure.
I mean,
Anybody
this is
can-
something that, like your guys that are sitting at the bar drinking Miller High Life and Budweiser, I don't want to compare this to that, but this is a good stepping stone into more craft options. This is something that's, it's not ridiculously malt forward. It's not ridiculously hop forward. It's super well balanced, and it's something that can be done, like, by anybody.
Yeah. And I would definitely say that this is a beer that is approachable to the American lager drinker, and certainly some of the bigger breweries that have been doing these fest beers for a long time certainly do invite people to try something different during the fall, and just seeing the success of it. And some of the other beers we're going to look at tonight are at least well known among the beer drinking community at large. At least they would see it and know it, be well aware of it.
The artiste speaks.
Yeah, Bell's have been doing this for a while. It's a wonderful beer. Really has the qualities that you look for in a Marzen. It's very solid. No deviation in the past few years with the Bells. They hold tried and true to this Marzen. They do it every year since I can remember. Ultimately, it's what you want out of a Marzen from a very widely known brewery.
Anyone else? Excuse me, that phlegm there. Anyone else have any thoughts or takeaways from this particular beer? Or okay, cool.
I think we've said what needs to be said.
Definitely not a fuck that beer.
No, and I think it's interesting to note that this is the one beer we're doing on draft, and I think the next one we're going to try is the only one we're doing out of a can. So I find that to be interesting as well.
Yeah.
I could take a different perspective upon the Marzen. I mean, aging and whatnot. That metal-esque taste, but some beers don't carry that over. Not all beers that are in cans carry that over. That metal.
Well,
taste.
and also you got to think about can technology, how far we've gone, because there's actually a plastic liner inside of cans now. Like back in the day, you had that real metallic taste come through, and you just as you're saying with aging process, unless you let it sit in there for ages, or if the can gets dinged in some way or another, it could screw up that plastic lining, which could in turn deter from the quality of the beer.
So what is this canned beer?
This canned beer is stuck.
What an idiot putting a canned beer inside of a cardboard 6-pack. Who would do that?
We actually have 2 of them.
Look at the Founders Oktoberfest and have a very nice German esque artwork on the front of it, does it not?
Oh, yeah. Also out of Michigan.
It looks like those old school, like the buildings on here look like those old school cuckoo clocks.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it also almost reminds me of Bruges in Belgium.
A glockenspiel. I didn't even know that was a thing.
Yeah, they're German clocks
With birds.
with birds that go.
Yeah, unfortunately, I work the Chris Kindle Mart, so I know way too much about German woodworking.
Yes, well, let's just not talk about Clepsydra unless we're going to go to Greek beer.
Glockenspiels are cool.
So I figured the way we're going to do this is we'll just, since there's 2, we'll just crack them and just pass them.
Sure, yeah. Crack-a-lack-em.
And pass them.
Dwayne, you also know about German woodworking, right? I remember that movie you made a couple years ago.
That movie I made a couple years ago?
Yeah, it's on all over the internet.
What's happening?
Just remember you working that German wood.
I see what you did. That took a second, I'm not going to lie. I was so not focused
That's
on...
instantly where my mind went.
I was sitting here going, man, I have no knowledge of the carving habits of the Germans. I was like, that's just not a thing I know.
You didn't get the memo.
Yeah, I, for some reason, did not immediately go dick joke.
That's something I always associate with German beer.
What, dick jokes?
Oh, come on.
Dick jokes and German beer.
They make bratwurst. It goes hand in hand.
Oh, God.
Speaking of bratwurst,
They have more than just bratwursts.
yes, I did have a chance to go to a German festival over the weekend, and the vegan.
Oh.
Yes, I want to talk about the vegetarian option at a German festival. That was a basically roasted carrot with sauerkraut on it. It was quite fascinating.
Yeah, that was supposed to be a joke, apparently. It was this grilled carrot with sauerkraut and like mustard and stuff on it on a pretzel roll. And like it was supposed to be
good.
it
So
looked good.
finish it.
Yeah, it was the vegetarian option as compared to the beer brat.
Yeah,
It was like what? Like beer and fennel and
I'm passing around a
Not
photo
gonna
of
lie.
it.
It
kind of
Yeah.
looks
Yeah.
good.
Fennel's amazing.
Well, I don't know about you guys, but I'm excited because we have at least 2 other Founders products on this table. So now we have the trifecta.
and my water glass is a Founder's glass.
Yes.
Hey, Founders,
mine.
how about that hookup?
Yeah, Founders.
Yes.
I drove through Michigan once or twice. Come on.
I was there this summer, and they were unfortunately, it was in the middle of the whole pandemic, and they were just doing growler service for the most part, although you could get a table if you called maybe 8 weeks in advance. I do hope that brewery can return back to normal because their tap room is one of my favorite places to visit.
You're not the only person I've heard that from either. Like, I've heard their tap room is spectacular.
Yeah, and I just want to mention, since we did just try another beer, that you can't go to Southwest Michigan without visiting the Founders Tap Room and Bell's Eccentric Cafe, which has a beer garden, which is beautiful. So I forgot to mention that earlier, but we'll get back to Founders now.
Okay, on to Founders. The canned option.
Y'all get ready to drink the second I put a piece of pretzel in my mouth.
It's because we're bartenders, Dwayne. I just instinctively know when you put food in your mouth to ask, hey, how are you doing? Is everything okay? Can I get you anything else?
The truth
like
in this
that?
statement is so real.
Immediately after trying this one, as from the first one, I get just a heavier malt presence, and it's basically just almost like a malt bomb. The way it
Yeah.
just rolls down your
You can smell.
I was just going to say the nose on this is a lot more pronounced.
Yeah.
Certainly, that is pronounced.
Yeah, the malt is a lot heavier in this one.
Sweeter.
Yeah, it's definitely sweeter, and I feel like that's just going to happen the more malt we get.
So just going to say, as we move from America into more of some of the traditional German ones, I think you'll find that to be the case, unless I'm wrong, totally, that we're just building up on that.
Well, we'll find out tonight.
Time to settle the argument.
Yes.
The great debate: which is better at making German beer, actual Germans or Michigan? Because right now it's just fucking Michigan.
Well, we will be moving to the West Coast shortly.
Oh yeah, we've got that Sierra Nevada, not their pale ale.
Yes. Sierra
was that,
Nevada
Josh?
You got that
Nevada
caramely
Pale Ale
note, that buttery
since
note.
1980.
Now, my question.
It even has this nice little oil taste to it. Sorry. Go ahead.
No, we'll get to my question here in a moment.
Yeah, I do.
Because it has to do with the next beer.
Yeah, we'll get there because
Hold on, we're not done on this.
We're not.
Before
We're
we
still-
get
I
to the
know.
next
Like
beer.
I said, I'll wait till we get to the next one.
Yeah, this beer is phenomenal.
What
Let's
was
keep
this
drinking.
buttery note?
Yeah, there's a nice little buttery note to it. It has like this tinge of like oils and butter, and then you get this nice little vanilla caramel note to it, and it's quite fabulous. I love Founders. Founders is righteous. It's right up there with any of the bigger breweries. It's
Yeah.
German style Marzen. It's caramel, buttery note, nice finish, even on the palate, and even has that sense of like that allspice almost.
Yeah. I like
Sense of
where he's going with that.
allspice.
Yeah.
That holiday kind of nipple twisting.
I didn't grow up in Indiana, and I didn't start drinking in
D,
Indiana.
nipple twisting? No comment?
No comment on nipple twisting?
Just shrugs. Obviously, we don't touch D's nipples anymore.
No. But I'd like to say that I was in Pennsylvania a lot over the last 2 decades, and when I started drinking these beers, I was drinking a lot of them at local small German breweries in Pennsylvania, and that's one of the things that I always noticed was a rich, buttery flavor, and more often than not, they told you to get a pretzel with it too, which would just go without saying.
So far, that's working pretty well, I think.
Yeah,
quite good.
I told the guys, I was like, I had no desire, nor the time, to try and make a proper beer cheese. So when I was at the store and I found these mustards, I was like, holy crap, beer mustard to have with pretzels that we're having with beer. We have to do this. There's a little sticker shock because the shelf wasn't reading right. It was in the French's mustard area, apparently, because I went up to the counter thinking these were like $2-3 a pop. Nope, that was a whole $13 that I was not prepared for. I was like, this mustard had better be spectacular. I am so happy it doesn't suck.
I really like the honey mustard the best, I gotta say.
I'm just happy it doesn't suck, because, like, that's a lot to spend on a condiment.
If I could ask DeWayne, could you tell me where you procured such decent mustards?
Meyer.
Good to know. But of course, they're from Michigan, so they should carry Founders products.
Of course.
They also have, if you go to
also
their
have
hot
their hot
sauce.
sauce.
Yeah, if you go over to the hot sauce area, they have Founder's Bliss.
Meyer.
Wait,
we are-
hold on. Founders has a hot sauce?
I've got it in the kitchen, dude. You can try it later.
Oh,
Okay,
yes.
You promise?
I swear. Swear to Buddha.
D, you were not here when we did that with eggplant parmesan pancakes, and something that would
The
probably
fuck
be good.
y'all eating without me for?
I don't know. This food just sounds like it would be good with this.
Because you have a personal life, and we respect that, and you're allowed to be your own person outside of the group.
Bullshit. I've done nothing. I've been lonely and hungry.
Lonely and hungry. That's the saddest thing.
But thanks for bringing cupcakes.
You look like that statement makes it seem like you'd just be like that puppy at the pound
I'm just
sitting there,
imagining a
the sad
violin
eyes.
playing. Dee's just like a little vagabond orphan sitting outside.
Dee, are you
while we're in
secretly a
here
pit bull?
Eating.
He's by himself, wearing
that's
a bathrobe
not
and
a secret.
boxers, and that's it. Sitting on
It's
a curb,
strictly raining over D.
crying into an empty bowl.
I'm sorry, buddy.
Sometimes I just want to be held.
We all
Well,
want to
Jake,
be
get
held.
to holding.
Hold.
The D.
Put down your cigar and hold him.
Jake.
No.
Fine, Andrew. You're next closest.
Go hold D.
Yeah.
Aww.
Wrap your hand around that.
He's got his
It
hand
is
on
beer that
his
brings us
D.
together. I would just like you to know that
He's got hand
when we
on
have
D.
Martzen, we have beer. We'll always have D.
Cherish the love we have.
And I'm ready.
And I
Before we get canceled,
Again, we talked about this before. I am the one who would cancel us.
okay. But nonetheless, I know that the other DeWayne, has lots of questions.
Yes, because we have a new beer coming up. This is a company that a lot of people haven't had much from. Aside from this table, I will say, because I know a lot of the people at this table have had a lot more than just their pale ale.
Oh, yeah. I brought that up briefly in the last episode, and then I cut it out because I didn't want to have it in there. It didn't flow right. I hate it when I go to, like, Cheddar Scratch Kitchen or whatever they're calling themselves now. They'll just list Sierra Nevada, but not which beer it is. Because they just the only one that people would clearly ever want is their pale ale.
Well, that is so untrue.
I know they have better beers. I think the pale ale is okay.
It is a great beer, and I hope that when we do Christmas beers that we took their celebration. But right now we have another beer by them.
Now, now we're proving the fact
This
wrong.
is the fact that and this is their Oktoberfest. Now, we talked about this is from California.
Yes.
My question is, they have brewing facilities not just in Chico, California,
also in North Carolina.
but in Mills River, North Carolina.
Yes.
Is
And
there a way for us to know
one do
which
we
one
have?
we have?
Do we have the one that knows how to party?
I am gonna hope so. Now, yes. So anyway, since 2015,
Crisp enough.
speaking of knowing how to party, Sierra Nevada has collaborated with a German brewery, and they started with three more obscure German breweries. When I say obscure, it means they've only been around for 100 years, as opposed to some of the big boys that we'll be trying later that have almost 500 years under their belt. Some of these German breweries have been around for centuries, but they got Brewhaus Regal in 2015, Mars Brau in 2016. In 2017 was Brauhaus Miltenberger. And then in 2015, they went a collaboration with a beer we're actually going to have tonight, Verhenstefaner. And they do their fest beer, but this was a collaboration. And then last year, they did it with Bitburger. And the bottle this year looks very similar to that, but from what I can gather, because of COVID, there was no chance to do any collaboration, and maybe they perfected it last year with Bitburger, because this one, as far as I know, is not a collaboration, and this is a sole Sierra Nevada product. So without further ado, Oktoberfest from Sierra Nevada.
They did Sierra Nevada. It wasn't their Oktoberfest that they did with Bitburger.
2019 collaboration was an Oktoberfest from Bitburger.
He has notes. What do you have?
Yeah.
The fact
You
that
have
memory.
nothing.
the beer that I have in my fridge that's a triple hopped up ale that they made with Bitburger.
Maybe they
Maybe
made.
they
more
probably had
beers.
multiple collaborations because they worked together.
Yeah, okay, that would make more sense. Because I mean, if you can get in the door with a company like Bitburger, like why not continue on? It's just you and him for that bottle.
So the Bells was like very light and fruity, and the Founders was very like deep fruity, like almost a like raisin-ish. This is somewhere happily in the middle, and I like it.
Yeah, I think the nose on this one might actually be my favorite one so far. Just strictly the nose.
I mean, one of the things, since I have been drinking their Oktoberfest every year, was expecting something totally different because of different collaboration. And having had everyone since then, this is a completely amazing surprise to me because I had no idea what to expect with it. And I agree with D. It is somewhere in the middle between those two.
Yeah,
It's weird because the hops profile is like way lower than the other two, though.
And if you know that they have their own hop farm up there in California on their facility, and I've been told that's one of the coolest things to if you ever do get a chance to tour Sierra Nevada. They're known for hoppy beers.
I feel like
This
the,
is not terribly hoppy.
the body on this though is a lot lighter out of the three.
It is.
Yeah, I personally was hoping for a little bit more. Like I don't know. Out of the Americans
Little
so
more
far,
oomph.
I feel like the Bells, the first one. Like I said, it's what I think of when I think of a Marzen. What I think of Oktoberfest. Like they almost perfectly nail it for me. This is still really good. I really am going to finish it.
you better.
No,
No,
and
Jake shook his head. No, Jake, should I not finish it?
No, you should finish it. It's a very American style Marzen.
Yeah.
The hop bill on it is straight American as it can be.
we were limited on the number of beers we were going to do tonight, and 3 American, and there are literally hundreds of different selections we could have chosen. And just for the history, we wanted to go with this brewery, but I'm going to say I've had better ones from them over the last 5 years.
This beer reminds me of a Donald Glover song.
What song's that?
This is America.
Let's see how it pairs up with pretzel.
Have you not heard that song, Dwayne?
No, I've heard the song, and it took me a second. I was like, no, that's Childish Gambino. Like a dumbass. Because as soon as it went through my head, I'm just like, nope, Vapor Lock, shut your fucking mouth, DeWayne. It's the same thing. It's the same thing.
So you know, if you ever see it anywhere, I am also the dangerous mastermind. That Wu-Tang Clan name generator's a bitch, like, for real.
I was gonna make a comment on it, but I just can't.
This beer definitely has a floral top note to it. I really enjoy that. This beer has a great flowery kind of top note to it. It's like at the tip of the palate, and then it kind of settles in with that nice buttery note. But it's just like this tinge. I don't know what to call it. I don't know if it's tang or something, but it's very delightful. It's very floral.
And it does pair up well with the pretzel. I don't know if anybody else noticed that.
It does, but if I recall, Tang is a kick in a glass.
For people that, still have pretzel left. 'cause
I
they're
see
not
what you
fat
did there.
asses.
What were you saying, Jake?
No, D and Jake are high
It
fiving
is
because they
very
already ate
floral,
their
I will say that.
pretzels.
Out of all the ones we've had, this is the most floral one,
I mean, are you not
I
gonna eat your
believe.
pretzels?
I had Popeye's chicken before this.
Well, you want to bring those pretzels down here then?
Go for it.
There's
Take
two
'em.
fat kids down here that want some pretzels.
I can barely drink this beer. I'm so goddamn full.
It's
a good problem to
one
have.
or a small one.
And that's why you're tacky and we love you.
Thanks.
Question is which mustard do you like better?
I liked the Dirty Bastard, so you can have the honey.
There we go. Shit works out fine. See, we're a tag team.
See, freaking hell yeah!
Yes, but we have one that's made from the sticks of Bavaria and two from Munich. And the two from Munich, I said, are both official Oktoberfest approved. And so do we want to do those first and save the fest for last? That might be interesting because that's the one that was everyone told we had to try was the Fenstefaner.
Hold on. Is anybody else going to applaud that pun that just slipped in? Save the fest for last.
I'm cutting it out of the podcast.
Fuck you, Charles.
That was good, actually.
Oh, it was good. I like a good pun. All right.
You will take that pun and you will keep it.
So, any other last thoughts, notes, comments about the not a pale ale but an Oktoberfest?
I heard somebody say this that who does make the beers better, German or Michigan? And from what at least we tied, Michigan was doing a great representation, and I think this partly goes with the fact that most of the Germans settled in the Midwest. Most of the people that came to America that brought German brewing are here within maybe 250 miles of where we're at right now. These are the people that knew how to make the beers and to make fest beers.
Mm-hmm.
So I would expect the best Oktoberfest and fest beers, marts, and styles to be made in the Midwest.
It's genetic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the American round goes to who? Founders or Bells? Both are Michigan. Michigan's going on to fight Germany.
I like this, but I have a love for Founders, and so they get my vote.
I'm giving it to Bells. And I like Founders better as a brewery. I'm just going to throw that out there.
I gotta give it to Bells on this one as well.
I'm in the same boat. I'm going with Bells.
It's a hard call, but yeah, with the Bells.
I mean, I love Founders. I do. I have a case of Founders Oktoberfest in the truck, but
It's not going to be a surprise
that
here.
Bells on tap was good.
But I'm going to go with the minority. I'm going to go with what? Don't laugh. I'm going to go with Founders. Bell is good, but I just like Founders better. I loved everything about the taste, the profile.
And Jake said you can have a can from his collection.
I'll gladly take a hand from your collection. But I've never had a German, like an actual German Martin, so you're going to have to come back to me and see if that changes.
Oh, that's a whole separate bracket.
Well,
We
but
about to
yeah,
change
I don't
that.
have like
We about to
anything
fuck
to
your
like
life
measure
up.
it up to.
Well, you're gonna have
this
three.
style of beer is kind of new to me.
I would say maybe since we have 3 bottles each of those, we save one of each of those, possibly because maybe we have a beer off with Bells afterwards if we need to.
I'm fine with that.
A beer off.
Beer off.
Beer off.
It's a beer fight.
Jack and some beers.
Okay, so what's the first one you grabbed there?
So this is written in German, and I can't read German.
Does that say Hackershore?
It's Hackershore.
Yes. So
There's a P there, and I'm confused.
Yes.
Yeah, for sure.
The P is silent.
As I said earlier,
The last word's almost my last name. There's no A, but
yeah, there are 6 breweries, all located in Munich, and all they are the only 6 that are officially licensed to be able to be served at the Munich Oktoberfest. It includes Augustiner, Hofbrau, Lohenbrau, and Spaten, and the 2 that we're going to be drinking tonight, Hackershore and Polaner. But Hackershore is first, and I always have loved saying the name Hackershore. Yeah,
I was
First.
really
First.
hoping that this was going to be in German, but it says product of Germany and imported by Paulner USA, White Plains, New York. Brewed and bottled by Hackershore Brau.
Did you say Polaner?
Yeah.
So the this is also, we have 2 beers both made in Munich, and so both of them are imported by the same people, and we're trying both of them tonight. I think that's fun too.
Almost every imported beer.
I know, but that's cool.
They all go to the same broker.
Dankeschön.
Donkey shit.
I'll gladly pretend I
Bitter.
translated that.
Donkey shit?
And just because I mentioned it, Hofbrau is a great brewery, and they of course have beer house all throughout the United States. And if you ever get to Cincinnati and get a drink on the other side of the river at the Hofbrau house, you'll try some really good German beer.
I got a buddy who's actually pretty pissed off right now because due to COVID and everything going on, he had a full, he had his flights booked, he had his hotel booked, he had everything. He was going to Munich for Oktoberfest this year. And obviously that didn't happen. So luckily they were allowing him to transfer everything over. They allowed him to transfer everything over to reservations for next year. So he's already booked and paid for everything for next year.
Remembering that I'm a millennial that knows nothing about Oktoberfest, why the fuck aren't we drinking this shit out of a boot?
I thought about that, and I
So-
thought about bringing fest glasses, but I didn't have enough for everybody, and I'm
there's
sorry.
the boots that we have. We'll hold 3 of these beers whole.
Yes,
Yeah, they're 36-ounce boots.
yes, and I did.
We have 4 of them.
I did partake on drinking some fest beer out of the glassware it was intended to be drank,
Yes.
but you just cannot expect to be coherent because that's just a lot of beer. And if we did 36 ounces of every one of these beers,
Oh, we wouldn't. None of us would be walking out of here.
No, we'd be in a line constantly to use the bathroom.
no, and
being stuffed to
I
your
just feel
gills.
like the cute level of this group would just be immense.
What the fuck?
Yeah, you'd start looking pretty cute there, Dwayne Pooh. Hey girl.
No, that's what you're. Okay.
And Dwayne, stop being cute and tell us about this beer.
Beer goggles.
Somehow D gets more ugly.
Oh, shit.
It's just like, oh yeah, you're cuter, you're cuter. Why am I not attracted to D anymore?
Systematic racism.
Please take this glass and smell that because
Oh, yeah.
it just like
The
the
nose
Founders,
on it's
you
out of
you
this
get
world.
You get that malt fountain, which is what I was saying. You're going to get more of a malt buildup in these
This
malt bomb.
is what Martin should be.
So,
Yes.
Yeah, like already, like we just
Hold on. So, both the nose and the flavor of this is way closer to the Founders than it is the Bells. Why the fuck y'all vote for Bells? I just want to know.
Because they're wanky poos.
Okay, just making sure.
because for
So
an
this
American
beer is
style,
actually-
I feel like not holding it as true if you're not going to be able to do this. Go ahead and deviate and make something a little bit more your own versus trying to come close to imitating it and just looking stupid.
But imitation is the most sincere form of flattery. And
yeah,
so
and
we
when
need-
you fuck it up, no, it's not.
Yeah,
But Founders did not fuck it up.
I mean, that's fair. That's very fair. I'm still standing with Bells.
I feel like Sierra Nevada didn't like they came closest, but I don't know. I still like Bell's
This-
the best. out
so
of the
this
Americans.
is-
but this so far I like the best out of everything we've had.
This is brewed in
what I
Munich,
expected.
and they've been making this beer since 1417.
Yes, and I'm saying that that beer predates the Oktoberfest by 400 years. That beer you're holding right there is the oldest brewery in the world. We'll talk about that later.
Yeah, I just want to know when.
11th century.
Shit.
No, about like when we get to that beer is when. Like probably in 10, 15 minutes.
We'll get there.
Yeah, and make sure when you get to the other one, you get to date 2.
Yeah. Oh man, this is fantastic.
Yeah, that's just it's crisper than the other ones, but still has the sweeter notes. The malt build is perfect. It's
almost got a like a raw cane sugar sweetness to it.
And there's a reason that a lot of these beers made it to the United States, even though COVID, because the German Fest beers very popular, and we are right next to a liquor store that at least a third of the people here have been a part of at one point, and I can say that I enjoyed selling these beers when I worked in the liquor store because people came in knowing them by name because these are beers that they loved.
And these are beers that have been around for centuries. The German, like all of the American side, I mean, most of the German beers have been around longer than America has.
I mean, these guys have had about 600 years to perfect this.
Yeah. So it's not a wonder why they have basically dominated this style of beer. We're actually going to put that to the test.
DeWayne, it's their style.
Exactly. We're going to actually test that with this next one. It's the Oktoberfest Marzen from Palner, established in 1634. Quality and heritage, brewed with uncompromising standards that strictly adhere to the... Nope, not even going to fucking try.
Hey, half of us speak German.
German purity law.
The Reisengut.
That one.
Yeah, German purity law.
Reisengut. Using only 4 ingredients, water, hops, yeast, and malt, for nearly 400 years.
Do you think it's the Reisengut or it's the...
Which, incidentally, most breweries in Germany adhere to. The last one, DeWayne, does not.
Oh, the last one we're going to do?
Mm-hmm.
Cool.
oh my.
Those rebels. Well, that's...
But what I do like is most craft beers, almost the entire craft industry follows those German purity laws, though.
That was sucky.
For the most part.
Except for the fact that they put a lot of other stuff in them.
Sucky.
I'm talking about microbreweries.
In theory.
In theory.
These are... Almost crispy.
It's all about the money.
When we were looking at doing which
not as
German
crispy.
breweries we were going to focus on, we had a few selections to choose from, and so we tried to get what we thought would be the best selection, and I think so far it's proven correctly.
Any Spaten up here?
We don't have any Spaten.
And I had
Tonight.
Spaten, and I had to basically think whether or not we were going to use that one, but we were only going with 3. And if we were going to do a 4th one, that would have been my choice. Are we allowed to talk about Spaten, though, for a second, briefly?
I don't give a shit.
I worked at a brewery that in 2014...
Shut up.
They messed up. Okay, I won't talk.
No,
2014.
go on.
Okay, so yeah, I worked at a brewery that messed up their whole Marzen selection, so they just bought several kegs of Spaten so we'd have it. And since this brewery's now defunct, it doesn't matter. But I would like to say that we were selling pitchers of Spaten, and people were just happy rolling with that stuff. It was a very happy fall, despite the fact that we didn't have one of our own on tap.
So it's defunct. What was that, Brewlink?
No, I'm talking about 3 pints.
Oh, yeah. And Brewling's still around?
Yep.
Yeah, we can pretend. We can live a dream. We can dream our dreamy dreams.
Well, man, this
And
is,
incidentally, while we're talking about Brewlink, it's funny, the name of their Marzen is called My Eagle is Pissed.
This is probably the darkest Marzen we've had today.
This is kind of meaty. Got a meaty smell. to
yeah,
it.
it's weird. It's like real raisiny on the nose.
It's got that my dad's beer when I was a kid smell.
Real
I've
like,
always found that
Thick and
that
umami,
of the Munich breweries, that Polaner always had kind of a yeasty feel to me, slightly yeasty compared to the other ones, and maybe this is gonna ring true. I've not tasted it yet.
it is a
but I
little
can
hops
smell
on the back end, but not super. Just a little. Just a little.
This beer is known. Brewery is known for their Weizen beers as well.
That is so malt forward.
Again, much more like Founders than Bell.
Oh no,
no,
that's
no.
more like Bell's.
The hops are not nearly as pronounced as
No, he's
Bell's.
saying it though because there is more hops in it than the last one.
There is more hops, but not nearly as much as Bell's.
The malt build, I feel like this one's closer to Bell's.
The malt on this, I don't know why. Like, I'm not getting as much of the hops.
Oh, it's all on the back end.
Like, I'm not.
Here, maybe yours is broken. Here, try mine.
Charles, are you getting hops on
Oh,
it?
there it is. Okay.
I'm not getting a heck of
Find
a
it?
lot.
Yeah, it's got some
Alright.
brightness on the back end. Okay.
I think that I'm getting a far more profound back end bitterness than I did on the Hacker Shore.
Yeah. This is, while it does have a similar malt build, I think, not quite as heavy as the last, but it's the hops are a bit more pronounced in this one on the back end. The front, it's fun to kind of see the transition as you're drinking it. Like right off the bat, you get the malt, whereas right at the end, that's when the hops come through.
I like the hop bill in this one.
Yeah, and why I like this one is, as somebody who's been a beer tourist over the past 6 months, and I've tried countless craft breweries' interpretation of Martzen. This one reminds me most of what a lot of small breweries have been doing. This reminds me of a lot of people's Martzens.
I mean, I could see that. Then again, Paulner is probably one of the most, I've seen it around. I've seen the Paulner Marzen around more than I have seen any other German Marzen. Like, I've just seen it in other bars.
I see Spaten everywhere too.
Yeah, I've seen Spot in a few
If you're seeing
places.
spots everywhere, you should probably go to a doctor.
He said spotting. You should take your headphones off.
I'll check the levels.
If you're
make sure.
spotting, you may need to check with your gynecologist.
It's okay to laugh, Jake. That's what the jokes are for.
You went to the Alley Cat and all you got
Did you
was a
just
story.
laugh like a Halloween decoration?
That was a joke laugh.
So, Josh, I don't think we've heard from you yet on these beer.
I agree with you guys. Yeah, this one's more along the lines of what Bell's does with their Marzens, but Paulner has one of those nice little delicate flavors. Has that caramel, has that zest, has that oil. I mean, it's definitely a Marzen. It's pretty quality.
Talking to it, you don't.
This thing's weird. I can't hear out of it.
Is it broke?
You know, last time I brought the splitter so I could let other people listen if they felt like they wanted to, and everyone said no, so I didn't bring it
I
this
don't give a
time.
shit. I'm just screwing around.
I know. But visual jokes don't translate into an audio median.
Dwayne's
Oh no,
broke.
it's not for the audience.
We broke Dwayne.
Yeah, you broke the ginger kid.
I'm fine, really.
No.
Dwayne, I felt like you were broken like before this festival.
Oh hell yeah! Like
You were broken when I met you.
Oh, I had a Stein in my collection.
I heard about this.
Stolen one.
I'm gonna cut this out, but what? Why are
No,
you
no,
stealing
no.
so
No,
much?
did you steal one from the Goodman House?
It wasn't
Don't cut this
stolen.
out because
It was
that's actually I've heard this story.
I asked if they had them for sale. He said no, and he said, "But if that one ends up disappearing, I would not be upset."
Okay, so it's the don't take this here. Put it in your pocket.
It was
Here,
from
here,
Half
yeah.
Liter,
Stuff to it.
and it's got the Half Liter logo on it. And I left him a very nice tip.
Where is Half Liter?
Like 64th, and
This is a brewery.
it's
Yeah, over in
No,
Broderville.
it's a
in
tap room.
Broderville. It's over off of that Sobro.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so
it's-
bro has great food.
Really good barbecue. So there's Liter House, which is like a German place,
And then
and then Half Liter's behind that, which is German beer, American barbecue. It's
Same place.
Big Lug,
Oh wow,
Big Lug beer.
I love Big Lug.
I went to Big Lug. That's
So it was
awesome.
very.
They have a great brunch.
They have good. What is it?
Good vegan menu.
No, it starts with a P.
Poutine?
Poutine. Yeah.
Nah, that's at their big.
They have
that's
good
at their
poutine?
cantina.
They have good poontang.
It's the best poutine north of Bloomington.
It really
I love me
is.
some
It's
poutine.
so good.
But yeah, so I got me a 16-ounce glass 9.
It's only 16 ounce.
Yeah, so I didn't take the big one.
I mean,
You're an
that's
asshole.
still cool though.
Yeah.
It's still pretty badass.
Yeah.
Not many people can say they have a glass time.
It's the glass one that has all the dimpled, like the
Yeah,
circle dimples in
I
them.
picked one up at Goodwill. from the Indie Oktoberfest at 2014. I found it sitting on the shelf. I was like, dude, I gotta have that, and it was 69 cents. I'm like, shit.
Yeah.
Okay, so I have to cut stuff at a certain point. So while I don't mind the conversation right now,
Let's rock out another beer.
yeah, let's move
We
on.
need to save time for the beer off.
The beer off.
I honestly,
beer
I like the idea of a beer off, but I don't know how necessary it's going to really be.
We can just do it for our own personal.
Because this beer is freaking amazing.
So I've been loving this brewery since I discovered they were the oldest brewery still in existence. They've been around since how long? 10 what? It's on the. It's on the
10 minutes ago.
1040.
This beer
1040.
was just
1040.
created 10
Oh
minutes
shit.
1040.
Yeah, and this-
the year of our Lord.
And brewery stands. It's been in a monastery for a long time, and one of my favorites from this place is a wheat beer called the Vitus, and you can find bombers from this brewery everywhere.
Is it Vitus or Vitus?
It might be Vitus, but you know what? It's still good.
Oh yeah, yes, it is one of it is.
And
it
the
is
the
a great
Cristal
beer.
is also good.
Yes, yes, yes.
You got that Vitus?
Now, I will say around Christmas time, a lot of these liquor stores and stuff, and a lot of breweries and a lot of distilleries put out gift packs. And if you're lucky enough to find it, this brewery does a pack every year, and it comes with 2 bombers that are random of different beers that they have out of a possible like 6 or 8, something like that. And you get one of 6 different types of glassware. And that's become my wife's new favorite thing to do around the holidays because she loves this brewery.
Yeah. And first of all, look at the color on this
Yeah,
beer.
I was just looking at that myself.
It's so much
the
lighter.
lightest.
It's really light, but it does not have that really sweet note.
With the exception
It's
of
got
the
the same
of the Sierra Nevada.
It's a
This is
little
the
more
only lighter-
danky,
other light one.
isn't it?
Yeah,
It's got earthy.
Well,
I like that
Bell's
dank.
was super light too.
dank is good.
Yeah.
in
Not on,
color.
not on this level.
Bell's was
Bell still had a amber hue to it.
yeah, Bell's was light, but not nearly this light. But Bell's
yeah.
smelled way sweeter. This definitely has
This-
like some funk on it.
This almost smells. This smells really similar to the last one we had.
It does.
It does
I'm
because
guessing it's
these
the
are
German
breweries
thing,
that,
right?
that do Weizen, and I honestly think they have.
Now, like you said, this brewery doesn't use the same standards
They were brewing 500 years before the purity laws.
before those purity
So a
laws.
lot of their
Okay.
beers, a lot of their famous beers,
Are,
the
like,
and they're-
grandfathered in kind
are
of thing?
grandfathered in. Yes, this brewery is grandfathered into a lot of things,
Well, that's like we have a. I mean,
and great grandfathered because of how old they are.
I don't know how I feel about this.
But they're
one.
monks. It's not like they were making babies.
No, but these are good monks, not like the Belgian tons.
So you remember earlier when we were talking about like
Easy
drinking
there with
36
bloody
ounces out of a boot?
They take the vow of celibacy. They're monks.
This is a beer
Yeah, I got
that I
that
could
part.
take 36 ounces out of a boot a couple of times, and like, yeah, this is like, I'm not sure I like this.
so I get the whole purity law thing. I mean, hell, like we said, we're at the bar, and
Did you get that finished, Charles?
we have a cognac behind the bar that exceeds VSOP standards, but they
too
don't have
sweet.
VSOP on the bottle
I know,
because they have
right?
had the same recipe
bothers
since
me.
before
And it
VSOP
doesn't
was a
have any of
thing.
that hops on the back end. It's
yeah.
like, it's like, you know that guy that's like, I had a beer once. It's like the LaCroix flavor in the hops.
No,
it's just
this is like-
barely there.
Let's say that all of these are an equivalent of some kind of childhood fruit juice, and this is like you're going to your white trash friend's house,
White
and
grape
his
juice?
mom made Kool-Aid, and she put way too much sugar in it, and it doesn't have any actual substance.
My friend.
So you're not
So
getting
first
any
off,
malt in this because I'm getting lots
let
of
me
malt.
tell you.
Sugar, water, purple.
I'm getting
That's
lots.
how you make Kool-Aid. You got to stop hanging around these crazy ass white people that are like 1 cup of Kool-Aid per packet. That's not how that. No. You got to put all the sugar in there. That's how it works.
If it don't look like a smoothie when you're done fucked up.
That's why I make Mexican Kool-Aid. You can buy
Just put tequila in it?
No, you can buy
Hot
these like
sauce?
you can buy the different stuff down at some of the grocery stores, and they have tamarind and different stuff like that.
Yeah,
and-
tamarindo.
Yes, and that's Mexican Kool-Aid.
You just fucking put. Well, I put tequila in it, but I put tequila in everything. What?
But
Have you had
anyways,
tequila
all I'm
ice
thinking
cream?
of is- all I'm
Have
thinking
you
of is
had
that-
tequila ice cream?
All I'm thinking of is that video of the lady like showing people how to make a mixed drink. She goes 2 shots of vodka and just pours half the fucking bottle in there.
Do I get that nobody else is getting a nice little flavorful bit of malt on this one?
There is.
Is like nice and malty and sweet and like
It's too sweet.
Oh, I love it. 36 ounces. Just imagine drinking the shit out of a boot.
And our friend that's the beer rep that could not be here
done
tonight.
it.
This was the one he said
We
that.
don't speak of him.
Well,
he
he's
flaked out.
Well,
He
yeah, but
flaked
he
out.
said this was the one that he was his favorite of the ones we were doing.
Well, his opinion doesn't matter because he's not fucking
It's
here.
also the one that he sells.
Exactly.
Yeah.
How convenient!
Yeah, it's a conspiracy. Like, put on my hem and
Everybody else who
Germans,
sells beer.
Him and
German
Germans.
monks.
and Soros
Yeah, it's a part of Beer-Anon.
And Bill Gates.
and Bill Gates
Fucking
Bill Gates.
Monsanto.
and Monsanto. Definitely
Yeah.
Monsanto. Because who do you think's growing all this fucking grain?
That's
Swear to
right.
God, the only thing that went through my head was that one political guy who just starts screaming into the mic. He's like, "They're turning the frogs gay."
Frog's gay.
Who are you talking about? James Carville?
No, what's his shit?
Oh, he's a psychopath. And
He's
everything-
really entertaining with how crazy he
Savage
fucking is.
or
There is nothing that ever comes out of his mouth that should be taken seriously.
Ann Coulter?
No. I can't remember his name. He was on the Joe Rogan Experience a number of times.
I went to go grab for a handle.
That's fair. What? Oh, what is his name?
Alex Jones.
Alex Jones.
Yeah,
I don't think
thankful
you
I didn't know who
understand,
he
but
is.
like Alex Jones is on it. They are absolutely turning the frogs gay.
To be fair,
frogs
I
that
looked-
have the ability to change their fucking gender whenever the fuck they feel like it because of
Just like
population
Josh
constraints.
Llewellyn.
But they're being turned gay.
To be fair, I did look into this and no, I looked into this and the actual thing he was talking about, he wasn't 100% wrong. The chemicals that were getting put into there by a company that wasn't doing their job because they don't, were forcing that trait to happen.
I understand that Alex Jones watched
He wasn't
Jurassic Park.
100% wrong.
I understand that he watched Jurassic Park, and I understand that
Alex Jones is just
Some
sitting
chemicals
there
happened.
looking at
It's
weird
so- it's
frogs going,
impossible to defend Alex Jones.
Where is Jeff Goldblum when you need him?
Alex Jones just sitting by a pond singing the Jurassic Park theme song. That'd be fantastic.
it's bad
guys.
because I didn't understand until the second time you went through which song that was, and I'm like, that's golden.
See, chaos theory and everything. Water turns the frogs gay.
Can you say it more like Can you say it more like
What you know
Stephen
about that,
Walken?
Josh?
Christopher Walken?
You see, it's water. It turns the frogs gay.
Did you just want a more cowbell reference? More cowbell?
I swear he could make a career talking like that.
I got a gay frog. The only prescription is more chemicals.
I don't know that that's true.
But when a gay frog loves another gay frog very much,
You give the other gay frog chemicals to make them the opposite gender, so it's fine.
what happens if you lick a gay frog?
Oh, dude, that is a trip and a half. It
depends on what country
You
you're
start
in.
getting
Hold on.
attracted to rather
Real
large,
talk,
hairy
it depends
gentlemen.
on which country you're in. If you lick a gay
You better
frog
hide
in
in the
Brazil,
closet
you
then,
might die.
Dwayne.
If you lick a gay frog in Australia, well, that's a different thing.
You lick a gay frog in Australia, you're gonna be tripping balls.
For like 2 weeks.
I believe that's called a waltzing Matilda.
Waltzing Matilda. What the?
Waltzing Matilda.
I don't know what the fuck. Is happening
It's also a Tom Waits song. Anyways. Yeah, I like Tom Waits, okay? I like shitty music.
I just don't know what you're referring to. I have to remind you that
The
I'm black.
lyrics are almost Waltzing Matilda.
Well, if you're gonna listen to
Waltzing
Australia,
Matilda.
Nick
And
Cave.
That's the whole song.
Nick Cave.
Nick Cave in the Bad Seeds is amazing. Yes, I know that.
Heck, go with Midnight Oil.
Okay, so back on to the topic of this beer, which I think is like Courtney D good Kool-Aid, but it's not a thing I look for in beer.
It is not nearly as sweet as good Kool-Aid,
Well, more for me, I guess. More for me.
but it is definitely smooth. It is definitely light on the hops, light on the color, and heavy on the malt.
So it's like the cognac of your Martzen.
I finished mine.
Cognac's
already.
usually pretty dark. Isn't it?
Same. Now, I gotta ask, because this is just kind of rolling around in my head. Which one do you guys like more out of the three Germans?
Oh,
we
the
had?
first one, hands down.
The Hacker Shore?
Yeah. Then the word spelled really similar to my last name, so I'm already biased on that. It's like, hey, for all I know, my family came from there originally. Fantastic home team.
I'm just saying, we could have done this a whole different way. We could have done all German. I could have got my hands on 6 German ones, and that would have been interesting in of itself. I like the way that we did it, but without some of my other favorite Germans ones to pair up against that tonight, I have to go with Charles and say, of the ones we tried, the Hacker Shore reminds me the most of the other ones I like the most.
Bro, I'm sitting here while you're trying to be serious explaining this beer, and I'm watching D straight lick mustard out of a bowl.
How do you weigh
Do you two
in?
need a moment? You guys can take some mustard in the back and
You gonna tongue punch the honey mustard?
It's good mustard.
It's fantastic mustard. It's mustastic.
It's mustard. Oh god. No,
It's a must-have.
I bought 12. I made 12. Not beer?
So German beers.
Yeah.
Let me see. Let's go with the one that is the most like Founders.
Which one?
The first one, son.
So Hacker Shore.
Hackers.
So we have 3 for Hacker Shore.
yeah.
You want to go ahead? Or are you gonna?
I have to agree with D on this one. As far as the German beers go, the Hacker Shore.
All right, so that's 4 for Hackashore. Looks like we have a winner, and it
Hold
doesn't
on.
matter.
Whoa.
We still
We
still
gotta hear. This is democracy.
This
we
might
have to
be
hear the
this
dissenting
might
opinions.
be cool. Hold on.
Let Jake speak.
For RBG.
Let Jake speak.
For RBG.
Oh shit.
All right, so Dwayne, do you want to try?
We are cleaning house with Hacker Shore because I was gonna say that from the get.
So I think we need to do a pairing of Hacker Shore and Bells now at this
I
point.
don't think there's a point. I
I
think
really
Hackashore
don't.
just
I think
wins.
Hacker Shore wins.
Yeah.
Just
Like,
bold face.
We can go get more bells, but at the same time, I don't feel the need to just try
Well,
them
then
back to back.
why don't we crack open the other bottle of Hacker Shore and just enjoy it then?
I'm down for that. Jesus, that was weird.
You two want a room?
Maybe.
Jinx, I'll buy you a Coke.
Do all 3 of us
You
need
will
to get
buy
a
us
room
a
now?
Hackashore, sir.
I do not have Hacker Shore money.
I
don't
think
know
you
that.
should just hang out with your frog friends.
That is not how we talk about the French in this room.
Le pe compétent.
Paints me like one of your beautiful French girls.
Pays me like your French.
The only
frog.
French
Are you
I
sure?
know I learned from
thought it
freaking
was
Dexter's
French, like one of your paint
laboratory.
girls.
French me
And
like
it's
one of your
omelette du
paint
fromage,
girls.
Draw me
which is
like one of your
cheese
French
omelet.
fries.
Hey, Dwayne, since I know you live in Funky
I
Town,
think I got that on
Damn right.
do you ever want to do a day when we just drink French beer?
Like your paint girls?
Do it. I don't give a shit. French me like one of your paint girls?
Yeah,
What?
I
it's
probably
basically going to
said
be
it.
Beer to Guard in
French me like one of your paint
1664.
girls. God damn it, Leonardo DiCaprio.
It's just like Josh when you and I hang out and Charles sends us pictures of poop.
What?
Hey, next time I'll actually sit on the toilet. Next time you have to wonder what shade of greenish brown is
No,
that.
I just wonder if you were at the Alley Cat.
Glass.
Wow.
No, I
Too
was at
soon,
the
Andrew.
Alley Cat.
Too soon. For those of you who don't know, and I think it was 2008, the Alley Cat was voted the worst bathroom in Indianapolis. And it was the only honest bar in Indianapolis because you knew what you were getting when you went there. It wasn't full of shine and polish that made you feel like it was a nice time. You're going to drink beer and listen to loud music and yell over other people in an attempt to have a good time. The Alley Cat knew exactly what it was.
I
dive
think
bar.
you're selling yourself short because I only went there to play pool
They also had pool.
Yeah.
On an uneven floor.
Yeah.
and listen to
And
metal
fucked up
and watch
tables.
white people like be white.
Fucking white people.
Why? Because we went in there, got a PBR, and put on fucking music?
You go in,
It was
you put
before
in Motorhead
PBR was
on
cool.
the jukebox. You pay only
I'm
in cash
old.
because they didn't take credit cards.
No, they had an ATM in that place.
They still do.
They still have the ATM.
Yeah, but they also take card now.
With fancy lights.
You've
now
been
the
to the
bathroom's
Alley Cat?
clean,
I was at the Alley Cat
and they've
yesterday.
redone all of the
fuck?
shits, and it sucks.
Why is that a surprise?
They used to have like a
You
solid.
can still
it
get
was like a
kebabs right
solid-
outside the door.
Well,
No, that place closed.
I was told the kebab place still
Hold
was
up.
there.
Why is that such a surprise?
maybe we need
Because,
to just go to
like-
the Alley Cat and shit on their walls.
Maybe
or
we should
something.
just do a
Alley Cat's where
podcast
I
from the
went
Alley
when
Cat.
I was in my
Flat out,
20s.
I was like, no, we can't
But I
have a
forgot you
clean
still
alley
do.
cat. I want graffiti and shitty
I missed
bathrooms.
The
before
bars
they
haven't
tried to
changed.
redo the walls, and they took down all the
Names.
paneling with graffiti and put up new clean. It was like, hey guys, can you not draw on this?
have you been
Hey,
to the Alley
fuck
Cat
you! I
front
got a
room?
marker.
I miss
People
turning-
literally showed up to the alley cat with Sharpies
I went to the one in the
to
alley.
fuck up the walls.
Yeah.
Yeah, like it was a battle that they had to fight when they tried to remodel it the
People
first
like
time. That
Josh.
people just kept like, no, we're fucking it back up.
I found out that somebody showed up. Like I was sitting there and I watched a guy literally pull out a can of fucking spray paint and just start painting the wall.
Yeah.
Like, and it wasn't like,
There's
oh,
the
I'm gonna
bar.
cover things up. No, he was just like spray painting Like, I forget what
Here's
it
the
was, but it was
bathroom.
like "fuck you" and then some girl's name. And I'm
Charles.
like, damn.
Yeah,
This
dude.
is raw as you can get.
You're gonna have to see this picture.
Oh, I've seen that picture. I'm
Sent him to
pissed.
when I fucking went there.
The bathroom.
Yeah, I'm pissed.
It's too fucking clean.
I mean, like, do
My
we?
first Facebook background
it's
banner
really
photo
nice.
is
Yeah,
a photo
they've got-
taken in the Alley Cat
Yeah,
bathroom.
that's not
The
their
first one I ever
bathroom, but it's
posted.
their
It's
bathroom.
got Mickey Mouse sucking a dick. Someone drew on the wall.
That's the alley cat I remember.
I'm
I
grabbing
bet,
the
like-
toilet
like-
tank and I'm just ripping it off the
The alley
fucking
cat
wall.
I remember, I was a like 22-year-old pool grifter, and I would go in there, and I had a friend that worked security, and he would be at the door,
So
and
he
I
was the
had
old guy?
You talking about
no,
Adam?
Matt,
Oh, okay.
yeah, with the giant gauges in his ears.
Yeah.
Yeah, we went to school together. Like, I went to school with half the people who worked the fucking alley cat. Anyway, I would go in there and I would order something like really fucking frilly and girly, and I would stand at the pool table and play pool and win money, and then talk shit to people, and then watch people get in fights, and then laugh my ass off, and like draw shit in the bathroom. Yeah.
My favorite thing was getting drunk, standing there trying to play pool, and forgetting that the walls are so fucking close to the pool table.
Just
you-
fucking
yeah,
hammered it
any
when
of
you try to
them.
go back.
The back room pool table in the dark.
Yeah. So you
Because
try
the
and
lights
pull the
didn't-
cue
Yeah, over by the
back.
kitchen, the bar.
Yeah, because it didn't.
So you go to
lights
pull the
didn't
cue
work.
back and you bang into the fucking wall
or somebody.
or somebody, and you're sitting there
I know
like,
with
"Caw,
different
caw, caw,"
bars,
and everything just gets
Andrew,
fucked up.
But you don't need to make that kind of gesture.
Okay, but I was just gonna say I remember when Fat Dan's Deli was still on 62nd Street and not down in Sobro, and I remember a couple nights when I just got my butt.
Fuck Fat Dance. I met my
Yeah, I'm like,
ex-wife
fuck
in the
Fat
alley
Dance.
cat.
Exactly, fuck Fat Dance. If you want fucking bar food that's not in a bar, you go to fucking burritos as big as your head.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's a good time too. But
Remember that shit?
Fat, Fat
If it's
Dan's was
Wednes-
delicious.
If it's Wednesdays, you go to Average Joe's because their wings are only 50 cents a piece.
There you go.
And they have popcorn.
Y'all motherfuckers need to bring back, cheap ass.
All right. I'm cool with us hanging out and talking for a little bit, but I think we are at that point that we need to wrap this up because that's probably about 10 minutes worth of us just jaw-jacking.
No, that's fine. Let's just say that Hacker Shore is the best beer we had tonight, and let's go ahead and drink it. And good night.
All right, Andrew said goodnight, and now I'd like to take a moment and discuss everyone's performance and grade everybody. I'm going to mute Andrew's mic first. Josh, it's been a while since I've given out points on this podcast.
There's points on the podcast.
Yeah, there's been points before. Remember me giving you points?
You gave me negative points.
Yeah, I know.
You always give me negative points.
Yeah, but you have artwork, and that could affect your point score.
Okay, so do you want to see my artwork?
I want to see your artwork.
All right,
I want to
but
give you
I'm getting
points.
graded. This is college all over again.
Yeah, hi.
I'm an angsty
Remember,
white boy.
remember before you present your final project, dress to impress because they're industry professional judges who will be looking at your work.
All right, so for the hacker shirt. No. This is for the.
Andrew, can you hold
This is
Josh's mic for him?
This is for the Weinstein Fodder.
What, Josh? One more time in the mic.
The Fest beer.
What,
Remember
Josh, one more
these-
time in the mic.
And remember, these were drawn with.
Just repeat everything you fucking said
Okay.
into the microphone.
Okay, so this is the Fest beer. Weinstein Fodder.
That's Josh's microphone. We're listening to him. Your mic's been muted.
This is what I did. This is what I
Okay.
did within like 5 minutes.
Okay.
5-minute sketches.
I like it.
Just
pretty
little
nice.
things.
Are you gonna put the beer bottle in the box?
We can, yeah.
Ooh,
yeah,
baller.
yeah. Not all of them will fit, but that one's for you, Charlie.
Oh, thanks, buddy.
You get the beer bottle and everything.
I don't. Hold on. Which one is this?
This
Can
one
I give
is
the
the
here? It tastes
Palmer.
like good Kool-Aid. You can have that.
This is the Paulner.
Hold on. I didn't grade that one yet, though.
Paulner.
That's
Ooh, I like the way that one
Ooh,
came
I
out.
like
Ryan, you want that one? All right, man. This one doesn't have a lid.
This one doesn't have a lid.
Actually, it does. Here's the lid. Here's the lid. It fell off.
The bottle wouldn't fit anyway.
Fuck your lid!
All right, the next one is the Hackashore.
Oh, that's the best one.
The Hackashore.
That is definitely the
I
best.
want that.
Reminds
I
me
want
of
it.
old
I
country.
want it. I want
No,
it.
I want it.
I was dual wielding access.
I want
Fuck you
it.
guys.
I edit the podcast. I will
The
edit it so I
Hackasure.
get it,
And then
whether I actually do or not.
Charles, I'm handing this to you to do with what you want.
Of course.
The next one is the Sierra Nevada Oktoberfest.
Ooh,
That's kind of elegant. I like that.
that's nice.
That's cool.
It's very simple, like 5-minute drawing.
But you drew it in the box upside down, though.
Did I? I might have. It's right side up or half.
Nice.
It doesn't matter, dude. It's a joke.
But anyway, that's the Oktoberfest. Andrew, that's yours. We also have the Founders.
Ooh.
Let me see that.
Founders.
That's nice. I do like
Very simple, very elegant, very nice, neat, proper.
It is pretty.
it. Oh. I do like that
There's that.
This is mine too.
one. Damn.
There is,
Damn.
There is the bells. There's the bells.
Oh, that's nice too. I forgot they have a
We
leaf.
had a bells can. Do we have?
No, it's
it's
on
on
draft.
draft. How, does everybody get one? Is this one mine?
Yeah,
That one's
it's
yours?
yours.
So I get bells.
Nice.
Cool. Oh, all
You
right. So
guys are welcome. Those were done in 5 minutes. Understand that. If I spent more time on them, they would probably have
Bro,
more
the
stuff to do
Palmer
with them.
came
but
out really
they,
nice.
They were really kind of just interpretive, kind of flowing with what we were saying, going along with what we were doing. I just wanted to give you guys some stuff for incorporating me into your beer cast.
I think I'm actually gonna hang that up in the bar at the house.
yeah, like I'm not mad at this, Josh.
This is badass.
You're very welcome, guys.
Mine's just gonna hold a flask.
That's fine. That's perfect. That's perfect.
I like that as well. That's a good.
Okay, Andrew, you're unmuted again. You're allowed to talk now.
No, you're not.
I'm just so touched that this is how we end on a high note, and this is beautiful.
Yeah.
And I have a bar at home too, and that's where it's going.
Yeah.
Josh, you will end this session with at least one positive point,
Yay! I get a point.
and that's off of your overall accumulative score
So -57.
is now a positive 1.
Oh wow! So you took all the
I'm
negative.
taking them away.
So you're taking all the negatives and you give me a +1.
Yeah, you're now at a plus
that
one.
is
Don't
huge.
fuck this up.
I won't.
And I forgive
won't.
you for everything.
Okay.
There are tears in Josh's eyes as this day.
As long as I'm tearing his beer.
No.
Hank Williams.
I know what it is.
If you didn't know, it was a Hank Williams reference.
Does a drop of salt water in a beer actually make it
I
taste
didn't do
better? Because I think
anything
that might.
All right, well, everyone's on side topics, so thanks for tuning in to this episode of Bees Beers / A Gateway to Lesser Things / I have a beer podcast and you don't. Suck a dick, Matt Gallivan.
Frog. Frog.
Damn, Matt Gallivan getting called out.
Oh man.
God, I have
Oh,
not
that-
seen him in so
I know.
long.
I
He doesn't
know.
have a beer cast, so fuck you, dude.
But he's got a shitload of.
Yeah, he's got more beer than us, but at the same
Oh, dude,
time...
he's got a shitload of Hunapoo. He's the one that I
Don't
got.
Oh, I
broadcast that
already
right
get
now.
all the
Hunu-
extra Hunaboo. Yeah, okay. Anyways,
Nobody,
Off the
everybody
Matt
do that.
Gallivan train.
thank
He
you,
needs to
and good night.